Those lips. Those lips. You see? That's hot.
If that is what she looks, man. Oh, yeah. I want her to sit on my face right now.
This is Globe10 Chronicles, a podcast about a mobile war game and everything that comes with it. I'm Exi, and like a lot of you, I came to the strategy and stayed for the people. In each episode, we talk to players who've lived through it, wins, losses, burnouts, rebuilds. This isn't a how-to, it's a space for what we don't usually say out loud. And hey, if you like what you hear, it really helps if you follow, rate, and share this podcast. Getting the word out keeps the project going. Let's get into it.
5, 4. In Globe10 Chronicles so far, we talked about why we stay, how we build, and what it means to lead inside a game that somehow mirrors real life a little too well. But there's something we haven't talked about yet, the part where it stops being fun. Because for some of us, playing isn't always just playing. It's navigating the same systems we were trying to escape: power, sexism, silence. This chapter is about that moment when the game gets real, when laughter turns into noise, when community turns into survival. It's about the women who show up anyway, speak anyway, build anyway. Because even when it isn't fun, we still find a way to make it ours. Dear Globe10 and all the Age of Origins community, welcome to the last episode of this first season. It was supposed to be fun, the reality of being a woman in games. I wish this were a real love letter, the kind I love to write. But I thought a lot about it, and this isn't just about this. It's about everything I do, and probably everything I will ever do. It's a blessing and a curse. I asked myself at least 100 times, Exi, why would you do this? Exi, why wouldn't you stay quiet and let it go? Exi, what do you want to achieve with this? Exi, why can't you just enjoy it like everyone else? And stay out of it? Because I can't. It's like ignoring the big elephant in the room that apparently only I can see. And that's fine. I've been called crazy around here plenty of times, so it's okay if this is something only I notice or something that only happened to me. But it's not just me. I don't only see or experience it myself. I see it in others every day. Even when I try to stop it, it happens in my own server too. And I apologize for that because I'm responsible for the environment that's created in the community I manage. But it's not only up to me, it's up to all of us to talk about this. I was supposed to have fun, to get distracted from real life, like everyone else here. But how can you have fun when you're constantly reminded that you are too dramatic, too much, that you're speaking too loudly, or not speaking at all, that you're too beautiful to play this game, that maybe that's not the real you, that you're wife material, that the words you use, the way you behave, the ideas you have are too extreme. She's overreacting all the time. She's sad. She's too funny, too sexy, too angry. She takes everything so seriously. Jesus, sexy, why do you have to be like this? Why not? 1 in 3 women under 35 who play online games report being stalked, threatened, or sexually harassed. More than half say they hide their gender to avoid being targeted. Women make up nearly half of all gamers globally, but only a fraction feel safe using their voice. I still always find a way to have fun, to make it fun for myself and for others. That's how I found this amazing woman, Tata Ribeiro. She's from Brazil, and she's an activist for the inclusion of Black people and women in technology, with a specific focus on gaming. She created Black XP Games Jam, an event that promotes diversity and representation in the gaming industry. She's also a game developer, and talking to her was definitely one of the best moments this year for myself. I will read her answers since English is not her forte. She really likes talking about the perspective of a woman game developer because the structures of sexism and patriarchy are reproduced in every space. And as if that weren't already problematic enough, she also has to navigate the layer of racism. But she likes to start this topic with a very sad fact, yet a fact. There is no career or movement free from sexism, racism, or homophobia. With that in mind, we need to do what we must do, what we want to do to pursue our dreams, always grounded in the idea that social obstacles are not barriers. In developing games, giving talks, promoting, and being a Black feminine body that creates, she found herself in a place of isolation and loneliness. But even so, not getting distracted from the mission or the goal while surrounding herself with her peers. She found a way to always bring the best strategy to stay safe, relevant, and mentally healthy. As I always say, I am never alone. Even when I think or feel that I am, there's probably someone else going through the same thing. This applies to everything game-wise. That's why we gather in a community.
Exi, stop trying to make community happen.
I was never asked about the game. Streams were stopped to discuss
girl,
my
it's you.
profile picture, and everyone around had an opinion about my face and how I looked. I was publicly scrutinized by people many of you idolized. And it's recorded on YouTube with at least 1,000 views, and nobody cared. Nobody but me and the woman who tried to stand up for me in the way she could. And I'm still angry with myself for letting that happen. But apparently, this is usual in gaming. Here is Melinight, my little sister, one of the most skilled players in shooter games I know, and also a brilliant woman. I will let her speak for herself.
Yes, I'd often felt nervous talking on my mic. When I started playing shooters as a teenager, people would see my nickname, Melinight, and immediately ask, "Are you a girl or a guy?" And I think, why does it matter? But the moment I spoke, the comments came. "Go wash the dishes," they said. Over time, I stepped back from those games, and if I return, I might hide my voice or change my name at first. But I know there are communities where I can be myself and enjoy gaming fully.
You know, I sleep very well at night, every day, because I know there is a special place in hell for this kind of band. We women, we talked about this over and over, but almost no one wants to talk about it here in public. And how could I blame them? We get threatened, we get expelled from spaces. Just because some men can handle the idea that we can have a brain, lead, have our own opinions,
and maybe be better at gaming than them.
Okay.
And of course,
girl,
still be
here.
hot and beautiful.
A moment when I realized the rules weren't the same was when I started playing shooters online. My male teammates were never asked anything personal, but the second people heard my voice, there were comments and jokes. If a guy played badly, he was just a bad player. But if I played badly, suddenly it was, see, women can't play. The difference was huge. At first, it really hurt, and it made me feel insecure. But over time, I learned to respond differently, sometimes by ignoring it, sometimes by calling it out, and often by finding teams or communities where I actually felt comfortable. And that's when I realized not all gaming spaces are like that. There are communities where women are welcome, and those are spaces that keep me hopeful for the future of gaming.
Yeah, I can feel you. Like, in my wildest dreams, there's a place where we can all be safe, but still I don't believe in safe spaces. But my main question around here is, why is that, or what is the need to brought up in conversation all the time about how women looked? Does it matter to be pretty and hot in a mobile war game? Why is it that as soon as I start talking about the game, someone DMs me to say I sound hot? Even when I'm not even speaking, just writing about something I'm passionate about and I believe in.
I have never seen any man around here publicly scrutinize the way I had been, the way other women had been. Why can't men just be friends with women without sexualizing them, without turning everything into a double meaning?
I do see the dynamics of, if I was, I don't think I've changed. I mean, if anything, what affects me is a lot of times I want to learn something, like implement something or talk about something. And I felt like a lot of instances I would get pushback, or if I offered my opinion and it was something that the other person wanted to hear or whatnot. And it's funny because somebody else, one of my guy friends said it in the game, like nobody would react. I don't see that somebody reacting like that or jamming them up in public. But, and what drives me crazy, actually humors me is that they think that I'm the one that they can do that to, when in fact, I am probably the worst person to come at in any setting. But I do see that a lot, and I feel that difference where, like, if I say something, it's immediately like this broad shut up. And I will say sometimes, like, it's not that I give a fuck what people think. It's just like, why waste my time? And why waste the time for anybody else? And then honestly, sometimes I'm like,
Why am I even here?
but for the most part, I just honestly, I'm unapologetically who I am. So people want to come at me and they're going to get that part of me at all times.
I totally feel you, AK. I mean, I don't have to be the loudest or the most confrontational person in the room to be treated like the worst one just for speaking up. Still, I was, and I still am, teased at least 1 or twice a week. Why do we have to sexualize ourselves? And if we stopped, do we instantly become boring? Why is that the only way we can earn a little respect or be seen as a smart woman is to be sexualized and considered hot?
Can't we just be intelligent without being sexualized?
But most importantly, why is she upset all the time? Why can't you talk about something else, sexy? Don't you realize you're making us uncomfortable? And again, I have an answer to all those questions. And I will make it simple for you. You just want to undermine what feels like a threat to you. You play mind games and manipulate others when you feel inferior. But even if I seem to be the only one who sees it, I'm not. Our dear Reb has some thoughts too.
In all honesty, the only part of myself I hid was the fact that I was gay. Not because I was ashamed of myself, but there's just many different cultures on this game. I simply couldn't be bothered to either A, have backlash, or people talking shit, B, have men sexualize me and my sexuality, or even C, girls just thinking because they're girls that I might fancy them.
Sorry, hon, you're just not that special.
After time, little by little, the more you get to know people, it comes out. By it, I mean me. I am fortunate enough, however, to have a great nation with hardly anyone batting an eyelid.
I do think having a woman R5 is a huge helper of that.
She does keep everyone in check. So shout out to my girl, Ray.
Thank you, Rev. We had this same conversation with HBIC from 9 to 6 too. And honestly, that afternoon chatting with the girls was a breath of fresh air. I'm not here to tell you what to do, unless you're in Globe10 and not following the rules, of course. Do whatever you want. Talk about sex, make friends, send nudes, have fun, fall in love, build something real with someone, create another server just to talk about sex. Be as sexual as you want, please. But if someone says no, if someone asks you to stop, and I will say something else, like if someone all of a sudden gets silent, why keep going? Are you really having fun if you're making other people uncomfortable in an online game? Is that what you enjoy? Maybe you're not here to play an online game at all. Think about it. Well, if you can.
Ooh, that's a fucking good one. I don't really, follow those rules. I was raised by a male feminist. I was raised in a male-dominated industry, and I was taught that I could do whatever a man can do, but better. Now, it set me up for failures and a lot of adversity because I go into stuff not even acknowledging those differences. Like, it doesn't apply. Like, I don't see that initially. I don't see it until there's that pushback. And so I guess one of the ways that I've really, and I think it's in leadership a lot. And I remember being so exhausted in my nation because no matter what I did, no matter what I said, but it's like everything that I did, or it was just always this pushback from people. And it just got, and I was just like always pissed off because why do I have to keep repeating myself, or why do I have to keep fighting and arguing for stuff that a lot of times once they realized that it was a good idea, they just did it. It's like, why isn't it just like, I guess in a way it felt like, and this is just how it felt sometimes, that I had to work harder to be respected in that spot. Whereas somebody else can just say something and they're like, oh yeah. And then I just sound like a raging bitch at the end of the day. And so that was one reason why I kind of just got tired of leadership and I didn't want to really be part of it anymore because it was exhausting. I mean, it's exhausting in general. Just every time, like every word that I said sometimes felt like it was going against the grain. And yeah, it was exhausting. So that's the only thing I have to say that I felt. But in general, I'm not going to not play as hard as a guy just because I'll play hard, just as hard or harder.
Yeah, I hear you. Play is hard. And the thing is that I was just thinking that I'm saying all of this because I can, because I always say whatever the fuck I want to say, and because I'm tired of getting messages from other women telling me that the same guy sent them a dick pic too. No context, unwanted, just because he could. I don't owe anything to anyone. I can say and do whatever I want. Nobody
Okay.
owns me, and
Okay,
nobody ever
girl, we
will.
hear you.
I don't sell myself to anyone.
I'm sure if you kept listening until now, you probably have a few thoughts.
She's too loud. Why is she saying all of this?
I'm asking that myself too. Does she just want attention, maybe? And my personal favorite,
Not every man is like that.
that's not the point. But Tata has something else to say about this. She says she's a 42-year-old woman, and she said her first video game was an Atari. Her childhood and teenage years were pre-streaming. She was a bit less exposed back then. Those console formats meant multiplayer games were played with siblings, friends, and cousins. There were other kind of bonds beyond the game itself, which made for a somewhat lighter childhood. But regardless of that, the rules for men and women have always been different in society.
In our daily lives, I will say.
And games are just another space where all of that gets reproduced. She doesn't really like focusing on stories of harassment, disdain, or racism because she believes we are much more than the sum of the traumas we've lived through and overcome.
I completely agree.
Instead, she tries to understand how her work as a game developer creates impact and overcomes a reference for other dissident people like her. I completely understand her. Beyond going through many of these things myself while just trying to have fun, I also had to think carefully about what I was going to say and how. I'm talking about things that really happened to me and to other women around me. Just because we're gracious, because we can take it, move on, and keep our shit together, doesn't mean those things didn't happen.
Again, being in an alliance where the R5 is female, I am fortunate in this aspect. And I guess by me knowing this states the obvious of, I do know how it could have been elsewhere. But by nature, I do think I'm vocal. I don't have any issues talking as a woman in the gaming community. It's like anyone, they either listen or they don't.
It won't stop me from voicing my opinion.
Maybe I'm a hater, but what I hate the most is the kind of argument where I have to bring up all the women in your family just so you can imagine them going through the same unfortunate series of events that we all women go through, so you can empathize a little bit. Why? I am not allowed to have fun too? Is the only way to have fun by sexualizing myself enough to send you pictures of my body just to please you, to make you happy, so you will think I'm hot and pretty?
Do I have to entertain you
Who cares?
for free?
Yeah, no. I'm not here to be complacent with any man, or any woman for that matter. I mean, I try to empathize as much as I can with everyone because that's who I am.
That doesn't make me stupid.
It just makes me the person I'm proud to be here. I know more than 30 women,
I counted.
and those are only the ones I know, who have been harassed, sexualized,
Ridiculed? Sorry, that's my Spanish mixing.
with English, but called crazy, fat, or ugly. simply because they weren't pretty enough for the men around them, because they dare to speak up or defend their own ideas. This is serious. You're not making it any better. But as I said, maybe it's just me who sees it, and that's fine. I can understand that you don't want to. It's painful. It leaves you a little clueless, unsure of what to do. You don't understand why, and it's uncomfortable. But once you see it, you can unsee it. Let me say something else. If we are uncomfortable, you are uncomfortable too. And sometimes you're so desperate to belong that you can stop smiling even when you don't feel comfortable anymore. I've been there, I know, and I understand, believe me. And again, why am I saying this? Because I can't stop seeing it. And if I see it, I will do everything I can to make you see it too. I've been called a man hater, but I don't hate them or you. I just don't give them or you the attention they want or you want. And apparently that's enough to earn me the title. I'm saying all of this because I still can't believe how important men's attention seems to be for some women. But we will talk about that in the second season of this podcast. Oops. Spoiler alert. But really, of all the women around you, the decent ones, you go seek help and protection from the most misogynist man here. It's still pissed me off how functional some women are to these systems. But as I said, that's not today's topic. I wish I could be more gracious, funnier, the joking kind, the lighter kind, the laughing one, the nice girl, the cute one, the sweet one. But I'm not. Apparently, people are just scared of me. I don't understand it yet. And that's fine. It's actually a good filter. Because no one who truly knows me is scared of me. And I don't want to scare people around me anyway. I will let others say what would be best for everyone, so maybe we can all actually have fun.
Oh my, if only it was that simple. To ask humans to have a bit of decency towards others that are perhaps a little different to oneself. It's a loaded question. I mean, I know girls that have been through hell from people online, that they've even had to change their number. They would call her at stupid times of night throughout the whole weekend, threatening her, finding out where she lives, whilst using a whole lot of different numbers, so she couldn't just block them. All because she had said no. All because she's ignored him. No clearly doesn't mean no to some people, and egos get hurt. What I'd love is for people to actually stop and think, imagine that was your daughter, mother, sister. Just because you're behind a screen doesn't mean things do not have implications. On the other hand, I know some women that like the attention. Some women want to flirt and have banter, as we say. But I just think people need to know where the line is. When enough is enough. Who is open for that and who isn't? There is actually a person behind the screens that you're talking to. And
I do believe in karma, and I hope something comes around and bites the people in the arse.
But with all this being said, it is actually coming from someone with a brain and that can think. It's hard to be able to get others to do so.
Tata said that, in her view, this is a conversation about diversity in the gaming industry. The community of players is just the tip of the iceberg. As long as we don't talk about who creates, who develops, and who makes the games, we will always be discussing the consequences without addressing the root causes. She spent many years of her life thinking about this question, how to make these spaces better, how to make it possible for a little Black girl to simply play. So she participated in several diversity initiatives and spaces, mostly focused on women. But there was always that gap until she felt safe enough to create Black XP. This is her innovative initiative that connects technology, ancestry, and Black leadership in one of the most promising sectors of the creative economy, digital game development. The proposal of combining technical training with a gamified learning journey makes the process more dynamic and engaging, while also promoting diversity and inclusion in the gaming ecosystem. The event is born with a strong social impact, celebrating the identities and stories of young people from Feira de Santana, which is a city in Brazil, and has great potential for national expansion.
Oh, good. Speak the fuck up. Speak the fuck up. Shut people down. If there is somebody that is being disrespectful, and you know that person is being disrespectful, don't fucking promote them. Don't listen to them. It's called cause and effect. Don't show up to give them space. Like, just cut it out. Because if you don't allow that person to have that podium, right? If you're not letting that bullshit seep into you, but you're also taking away all of that power, right? That's what I'm saying. If more people did that, it would take away their power. And one of two things, maybe it would change them, because a lot of times they just want an audience, but you just don't give those people that power. Block them, kick them from your alliance, don't support them. I feel, and I'm guilty of this too, don't even talk bad about them. Don't even give them any energy. Make them not exist. Basically, just don't give any energy, because they do not exist in your fucking universe. That's what I wish more people would do. I mean, quite honestly, I'm sure there's some people that do it to me.
If you think we're talking about you, yes, we probably are. I can't stop people from talking, but I'm still gracious enough to prove them wrong. At the very beginning of this episode, I asked myself, what do I want to achieve with this chapter, with this conversation? If I can help even one woman out there, one player who feels alone, who thinks she doesn't have a place, or other women who will help her get through this, then that's it. That's exactly what I wanted to achieve. In the end, this is a love letter to all the amazing women I've met, the ones who taught me and so many others how to survive around here, the ones who've helped me every single day. I love you, and I will always be here for you. Thank you. I will never forget it. And that's it. The end of this chapter and the end of this season. If you made it here, thank you, really, for listening, for being part of this podcast together. If you want to be part of season 2, which will launch sometime in 2026, reach out. I'd love to hear from you, your story, your thoughts, your version of what fun means. Until then, thank you for staying, for still being there. Thanks for being here, really, for showing up with honesty and heart. If this resonates, share it with someone who gets it. Maybe someone from your alliance, maybe just someone who's still figuring out.
And if you want to support this podcast, follow it, give it a rating, or share it. It helps way more than you think, and it keeps this project alive. We will be back soon. Until then, take care of your base, yourself. And if you're around, come chat with us on Discord. Goodbye.